right, Larry. Tomahawk slam! Welcome to the 2022 Samys. Tonight's award winners and nominees were selected by the Indiana State University Athletic Communications Office and local Terre Haute Media. Tonight we'll recognize the outstanding accomplishments of Sycamore student athletes from the spring and fall of 2021 season. Please welcome Director of Athletics, Sherrard Clinkscales.
Right that time. Well, welcome back, everyone. God, this has been far, far too long to have gotten together, and it's just so very fortunate and grateful to be here. Before I start looking at this script, I just want to kind of go off script and just recognize so many people that allowed us to be able to get through these challenges that we've all faced over the course of the last 2.5 years. And the two people that I'm going to mention, I know sometimes the coaches didn't like them, sometimes the parents were concerned and asked questions, and even sometimes I would get frustrated. But I want to recognize two people in our sports medicine staff that really, really, really carried the load for us, the banter for us to be able to get through this tough time. So if you all would just please take the time to recognize Dr. Andy McDonald and Kellen Norris. Give them a round of applause. Good job, you guys. Heck of a job. I'd like to recognize our sponsors today. Bart Caldwell from Town Home Savings Bank. They've been a sponsor of this since we started this 5 years ago. Thank you so much for your contributions and being a part of this wonderful event. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Now, I would like to introduce our 12th president of Indiana State University, Dr. Deborah J. Curtis.
See, I made up the stairs with all that cheering. That really helps. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm delighted to share this welcome on behalf of your Sycamore campus family. This year in particular, it's wonderful to be able to be here in person to hold this event. Give yourselves a round of applause for making that happen. On the occasion of the Samys, we all look forward to this opportunity to lift up and recognize the amazing accomplishments of our student athletes. We have so many truly talented, hardworking, and passionate student athletes here at Indiana State. Please know every day, in every way, how very proud your university is of the way you represent us throughout this year of competition. Words just cannot express how much we value you. We sincerely hope you'll enjoy this evening, so now let's get on with it.
To bring greetings on behalf of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, join me in welcoming President Jalen Talbot.
Well, welcome back. It's been a while. I would like to welcome everyone to Indiana State University for our 2022 Samys Awards Banquet. My name is Jalen Talbot, and I'm a junior on the women's swimming and diving team, and also the Student Athlete Advisory Committee President for the 2021-2022 school year. This evening, I would like to thank everyone who helped make this possible. Sherrard Clinkscales, Angie Lansing, and Brooke Young, as well as my fellow SAC members and endless others. This is my second year in SAC, and I have admired the work and dedication that this small group of athletes has put into representing their teams and the university. Indiana State's Student Athlete Advisory Committee offers student athletes the opportunity to shape the landscape of intercollegiate athletics. Members of our campus SAC are given the ability to foster an environment that values cultural diversity and gender equity while promoting excellence and a positive image for the conference. This year, Indiana State entered a competition with Illinois State and Missouri State and a canned food drive that took place at our men's and women's basketball games. Our Sycamore community raised over 400 items for the Sycamore Pantry. In addition, Indiana State SAC participated in a toy drive with proceeds going to a local elementary school during the holiday season. Despite the challenges that 2020 brought us, SAC members continued to collaborate with one another even when we could not meet in person. We kept moving. I don't know if you've heard, but we are 2 years deep into a global pandemic. We haven't had a Samys since 2019 as COVID has kept us apart, but thankfully this year we are finally together again. We meet tonight after getting through 2 of the hardest years this nation has ever faced. We have struggled to keep up with the rising cost of food, gas, housing, and so much more. The fact that we are all sitting here again today proves that the dedication that you all show to this school and to your sport is unwavering and inspiring. Sycamores, we keep moving. The Indiana State University Athletics Department announced that Sycamore athletic teams will continue to wear a unity patch of the Indiana State University leaf on all uniforms to draw attention to the systemic racism and social injustices throughout the country. As a Sycamore family, we acknowledge that members of our community have been targeted and affected by the injustices that have been occurring in this country. We are unified as one to stand up against this. We have endured a long-lasting fight for racial and gender equality that has divided our nation. Many of us stood in the streets to protest. Indiana State is a place that is guaranteed to make us feel unified. We stand together and we keep moving. In these unprecedented times, Indiana State has cultivated a safe space for us as athletes, despite the devastating war happening overseas. It is frightening to think of the unknown that looms when we look at the tragedy occurring in Ukraine. This can be overwhelming, and therefore we are fortunate to be able to use athletics as an escape from this reality. A moment of peace in the pool, on the field, on the track, or the court. Thankfully, for those couple of hours, the world and our worries fade away. I want to express my sympathy and acknowledge the loss that Ukraine is enduring and appreciate the security that Indiana State has provided to us. As we continue to undergo these historical events, we keep moving. I will forever be thankful for the Indiana State University community and the memories and relationships that I've made at ISU. Sycamores, we kept moving. Enjoy the rest of your evening and God bless.
Please welcome to the stage Pastor Shant Smith, Director of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, for our invocation.
Will you pray with me? God, we thank you for this evening of celebrating Indiana State University and Indiana State Athletics. We thank you for the board of directors. God, we thank you for President Curtis and her staff. We thank you for AD Sherrard, the assistant ADs, the foundation, and the athletic department. God, we thank you for each coach, team staff, manager, and behind-the-scenes participant that makes Indiana State sports what it is, what we love, and what we cheer for. God, we gather tonight to reflect upon the talents that you have given to each athlete that we have enjoyed watching compete through this sports program. God, we ask that you would continue to bless and to guide this university, this program, and each athlete as they continue to develop in their gifts, their talents, competition, education, and their careers. Help us, Lord, to remember that this is our responsibility to use the divine gifts that you have given us to foster integrity, service, teamwork, and excellence. Teach each of us what it means to be winners in your eyes, winners that have learned to always do their best and compete at the highest level, winners that have learned to persevere through adversity and not quit, winners that have learned to accept responsibility and leadership, winners that have respect for their friends, their coaches, their teammates, and this community, as well as themselves. Winners that have learned that you are the one who gave them their gifts, their abilities, their personalities, and their drive to compete. May they be used for your glory. God bless this night of awards, festivities, and this celebration. May you be honored in all that is said and all that is done this night at the Samys. Amen.
We are happy to be back celebrating the hard work and accomplishments of our Sycamore student athletes. Due to the pandemic, we were unable to properly recognize our student athletes last year. Let's take a look back at the 2020-2021 season highlights.
It's time to look back at our seasons we didn't have a chance to honor due to the COVID-19 pandemic impacting the college sports calendar. Sycamore basketball went 15-10 in 2020-2021, including an 11-7 record for a fourth-place finish in the Missouri Valley Conference. It was the first time in program history that the Sycamores had at least 3 different student athletes honored by the Missouri Valley Conference with all-league honors. Tyree Key was first-team All-Missouri Valley Conference, while Jake Laravia was placed on the MVC second team, and Trey Williams was named to the All-MVC defensive team. Sycamore women's basketball had a strong post presence in 2020-2021, with Jamira McChristian and Adrian Folks both averaging just under 10 points per game while maintaining one of the best rebounding margins in the league. McChristian was one of the top rebounders in the Valley with 7.3 rebounds per game. Indiana State swimming and diving bagged another top 3 finish at the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. Head coach Josh Christensen and the Sycamores saw a pair of Sycamores earn all MVC honors on the final day of the championship. Marty Gray was the MVC champion in the 200 butterfly, and Marlene Havlu-Lewin placed second overall in the 200 backstroke. Indiana State also set a program best 14 swimmers earning MVC Scholar Athlete honors. Indiana State track and field came so close on the men's side to capturing the indoor championship, finishing runner-up by only 2.5 points. Javon Moore did what he does best, winning the 60-meter championship for the second consecutive year at the time. The women's indoor season saw the Trees finish 4th. It was the most successful season in Indiana State soccer history, as the Trees broke a program record for most victories in the Missouri Valley Conference, finishing with 6 Valley wins, and hosted the school's first Missouri Valley Conference tournament match since the 2016 season. All 6 victories were shutout wins, thanks in large part to freshman Maddie Alexander only allowing 1.1 goals per match. In all, Indiana State collected 9 MVC postseason honors, the most in the 21-year history of Sycamore soccer. Chloe Cooker and CeCe Wahlberg were both MVC first team, with a trio of Sycamores earning all MVC honors in Maddie Alexander, Chloe Pettigrew, and Cindy Ewing. In addition to Alexander and Pettigrew, Audrey Stevens and Katie Yankee were named to the MVC all-freshman team. Indiana State Volleyball qualified for the MVC championship again, thanks in large part to a young core. Mallory Keller was named to the MVC all-freshman team in the Valley as she tallied a team-high 184 kills. Indiana State had key wins during the spring volleyball season, but few were bigger than knocking off Illinois State for the first time since 2013.
It's now time to honor all of you in attendance tonight for our award presentation for this year. Here with us this evening to present the Female Newcomer of the Year, please welcome baseball team members Cameron Edmondson and Cole Gilly.
Breaking into the collegiate stage as an athlete can be very hard to do. But breaking into the collegiate stage as a freshman or transfer can be even harder. The Female Newcomer of the Year is awarded to the student athlete who made significant contributions to the success of her team. And the nominees are
Maddie Alexander, soccer. After a strong spring season for Alexander, she followed it up with another outstanding fall. Alexander had 81 saves on the year and only allowed 1.1 goal per match in the past fall while fighting through injury. Isabella Henning, softball. First time ever. Whenever you could say that, it's impressive. Henning was the first ever Sycamore to be named the Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year for softball. She led the team with 8 home runs, second in the Valley with 13 doubles, and hit at a .324 clip. Emma Kalin, volleyball. The true freshman averaged 5.02 assists per set 2.12 digs per set, and chipped in 24 kills, 21 aces, and 5 blocks for a volleyball team that made their first ever postseason appearance and program history with the NIVC. Alexa Sidorsky, swimming and diving. Alexa's season was highlighted by a second-place finish in the 400 individual medley. She was named All-MVC while having the fastest relay split on third-place, school record-breaking 400 free relay. She was also a member of the Missouri Valley Conference runner-up 800 free relay team.
And the Sammy goes to Isabella Henning.
It was a challenging year for all teams, but for golf, it started with not being able to compete in the fall to having their first competition of the season canceled due to heavy rain. The Sycamores were paced by junior Lauren Green, who was first team All-Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete and MVC All-Conference selection, finishing 4th in the spring championship. She lined up in all 16 rounds and 6 events during the 2021 spring season and had the best stroke average on the team.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach Greg Town to present his awards. Receiving the Most Improved Award and Coach's Award for golf, Madison Branham. The MVP for the 2021 season, Lauren Green. Please welcome softballs, Olivia Patton and T.Ann Bringle to present the Male Newcomer of the Year.
The Male Newcomer of the Year is awarded to the student athlete who made significant contributions to the success of his team.
Here are the nominees for Male Newcomer of the Year.
Aaron Beck, baseball. The Missouri Valley Conference Newcomer of the Year transferred into the Sycamore baseball program from Olney Central College. He was named National Player of the Week. He was outstanding week against Valpo in April, going 12 of 14 with 9 RBI, 3 doubles, and a triple. He was also named to the Missouri Valley Conference first team. Cam Henry, men's basketball. A transfer from Lincoln Memorial really started to showcase his skill in the Myrtle Beach Invite, where Henry had a double-double in the first half against Old Dominion. He scored 20 points or more 4 times during the season, including a career-high 28 against Valpo on February 5th. Henry had 3 double-doubles on the season and was named to the Missouri Valley Conference All-Newcomer team. Shamari Rogers-Walton, track and field. With awesome, positive energy since day one on campus, Shamari has backed it up on the track. The freshman saw himself finish first in the Missouri Valley Conference in long jump, triple jump, and tied for 5th in the 60-meter. He was also 3rd all-time in school history in the long jump and 10th in the 60 meters. Jeffrey Brown, football. After not being able to play in the fall of 2020, or spring of 2021. This Sycamore made the most of his time to mold his game. Brown led the Sycamores this past fall with 61 tackles and second on the team with 8.5 tackles for loss. He was named to the Missouri Valley Football Conference newcomer team at linebacker, starting 8 of the 11 games on the year. He also had at least half of the team's total tackles for loss in 9 of the 11 games on the season.
And the Sammy goes to Aaron Beck.
In the spring, the women saw a fourth-place finish in the outdoor championship, sitting 2-on-2 the NCAA preliminary rounds in Jocelyn Keelis and Ryan Porter. You will hear Porter's name more tonight, but the freshman would go on to the NCAA championships, becoming only the second Sycamore to represent the trees in the triple jump on the biggest stage, and became an honorable mention All-American, taking 24th place. Though we really want to focus on this past indoor season, where the women were pegged to finish third in the Missouri Valley Conference Indoor Championships and won the title for the first time for the program since 2015 on the women's side, defeating rival and defending four-time women's indoor champion Illinois State. Ryan Porter was named Freshman of the Year and the Missouri Valley Conference Most Valuable Athlete.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Program Director Angie Martin to present this year's Women's Track and Field Awards. Receiving the Most Improved Award for Women's Track and Field, Grace Quinlan. Receiving the Coaches Award for Women's Track and Field, Kaylin Gustafson. And the MVP for Track and Field, Ryan Porter. Please welcome to the stage Joe McMullen, the Associate Athletic Director of Compliance, to present this year's Sycamore Cup winner.
Good evening. The Sycamore Cup is awarded to the team that shows a devotion to success in all aspects of life through community service, school spirit, academic achievement, and leadership on campus. This year's Sycamore Cup winner is the ISU Spirit Squad. Would the team's designee come to the stage and accept the award, please?
After nearly capturing the indoor championship in 2021, the men were picked to win the 2021 outdoor championship Javon Moore captured a pair of conference titles in the sprints, Kevin Crutch in the high jump, but the men finished fourth. When you don't reach that goal, there is no time to complain. This team simply went back to work. For the 2022 Indoor Championships, the Sycamore men did what the women accomplished as well, taking home the first place crown. Javon Moore won his third consecutive 60-meter title. Shamari Rogers won the triple jump. Mitch Conrad bringing home the long jump title, and William Staggs clinching the pole vault championship. Angie Martin was named Coach of the Year. Jeff Martin was named Assistant Coach of the Year. All well-deserved for the 2022 Missouri Valley Conference Indoor Champions.
Let's welcome back to the stage Program Director Angie Martin. Let's introduce this year's Men's Track and Field Awards. For Most Improved Award, Wyatt Wyman. The Coaches Award, Taj Johnson. And this year's track MVP, Javon Moore. Next to present this year's President's Cup winner, please welcome Dr. Rusty Gonzer, the professor in the Department of Biology and our faculty athletics representative.
The balance between athletics and academic achievement is essential and can sometimes be tough to achieve. The student athletes on this team have it down to a science. The President's Cup is awarded to the team with the highest cumulative grade point average throughout the year, illustrating the team's commitment to success in the classroom. With a team GPA of 3.772, this year's President's Cup winner is golf. With a team's designee, please come to the stage.
This was the first season where cheer and dance was combined into one team as Indiana State Spirit Squad. It was a hybrid team resembling pro cheer teams in the NFL and NBA. 13 alums from the Spirit Squad have gone on to pro teams in recent years. This year, the program was asked to open for Sing at Spirit Week, as well as already received the largest number of applicants and highest skill level for next season's Spirit Squad.
Please welcome Coach Tammy Scheid to deliver this year's Spirit Squad Award winners. Receiving the Most Improved Award, Abby Ward. Receiving this year's Most Improved Award is Abby Ward. And receiving the Coaches Award, Maddie Smith and Lainey Gentra. and receiving this year's MVP for Spirit Squad, Haley Tonzer. Please welcome back to the stage Lauren Green and Kristen Hobbs of golf to present the team performance of the year.
There has been a lot of excitement in Sycamore athletics this year. We have accomplished so much and a lot which we can take pride in.
We are excited to present the Sammy for Team Performance of the Year, which is awarded to the team who had an outstanding performance in competition.
And the nominees are
Football's win at Illinois State. Winning in Normal, Illinois is never easy for any Sycamore sport, even more so on the football gridiron. The real ISU, winless at Illinois State since 1997, had only won in Normal 7 times total since 1936. To make matters even harder, all 4 defensive coaches for Indiana State were out due to COVID protocol, which meant head coach Kurt Mallory had to call the defensive plays. In his first defensive play he called, Illinois State went 40 yards in the air on their first offensive play of the game for a touchdown. Way to go, Coach Mallory. But he found his groove, and his team followed suit, scoring the last 15 points in the game to win 15-10. Volleyball's first round win against Bradley in the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Competing in the MVC tournament for Indiana State Volleyball isn't consistent and hasn't been normal, let alone winning in the Valley tournament. The Sycamores did it again this past year, this time knocking off conference rival Bradley, who swept Indiana State in the 2 regular season meetings. ISU hit 308 as a team in the match while sweeping the Braves in a decisive 3-set win. Men's and women's track and field sweeping the indoor championship. We have already spotlighted both these teams' efforts, but it can't go without saying it again. Indiana State swept the Missouri Valley Conference indoor titles for the first time since sweeping them in 2015. In order to pull off this task, it truly takes the team. 19 Sycamores on the first day of the meet either scored or were named all-conference or won the league title in their respective event. And on Monday, the final day of competition in Chicago, 34 different Sycamores did the same thing. Men's basketball versus Old Dominion in the Myrtle Beach Invite. It was the opening game for Indiana State in the Myrtle Beach Invite. The Sycamores were 5-point underdogs. Cam Henry had a double-double at halftime, and the Sycamores built a 43-16 lead in the first 20 minutes of play. ISU led 72-24 with just over 7 minutes left in the game. The Trees made 12 of their 23s in the contest and held the Monarchs to just 36 points in the 77-36 butt whooping in South Carolina. Women's basketball win at Drake. The last time Indiana State won at Drake was 2014. The Sycamores had lost 10 in a row overall to the Drake Bulldogs, who have always been towards the top of the Missouri Valley Conference women's basketball standings with no high expectations. In factoring in, Drake nearly beat the Sycamores by a combined 100 points in the 2 games combined last season. All Coach Killinger's group did was force Drake to 30-plus turnovers and start off 1-0 in the Missouri Valley Conference, beating Drake in Des Moines 78-70.
The Sammy for Team Performance of the Year goes to track and field.
After missing the Missouri Valley Conference Softball Championship in 2016 and 17, all Coach Pooch has done is help guide the Sycamores to a Missouri Valley Conference Championship appearance in each of his 4 seasons, matching the most wins in Valley play with 12 for the second time in his 4 years in 2021. The 12 Valley wins were the most since 13 in 2015. That year, Indiana State went to the NCAA tournament. 2021 also saw Indiana State win at least 1 game in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, knocking off Valpo 9-5. 4 Sycamores earned all conference honors. Isabella Henning earned Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year, first Sycamore softball player ever to do that, and was second team All-League. Bella Peterson and Lexi Sywak were first team All-Missouri Valley Conference members, while Olivia Cotton became the 6th Sycamore to the All-Missouri Valley Conference defensive team.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to present this year's softball awards, head coach Mike Pernicero. Receiving the Most Improved Award from the spring of 2021 for softball, Lexi Sywak. Receiving the Coaches Award, Abby Chips. And the MVP for softball, Bella Peterson. The Comeback Player of the Year will be presented by members of the swimming and diving team. Please welcome Madison Misko and Jalen Talbot.
Let's face it, in life and in sports, we are all bound to face adversity and hardships.
That's right, Madison. But let's remember, true success can be measured by how we respond to these challenges.
Tonight's Comeback Player of the Year award is presented to a student athlete who has overcome injuries, illness, or personal hardship to be a productive or his team.
Here are the nominees for the Comeback Player of the Year.
Kalik Stevens, men's basketball. Heading into the 2020 season, Kalik Stevens was primed to be a key addition to a Sycamore team that many thought could contend for the Missouri Valley Conference title. As the season was set to begin, Stevens tore his Achilles in November of 2019, a process that can normally take up a full year. Stevens was back and cleared for physical activity 2 months ahead of schedule. The big dog ended the season for Indiana State in 2022, scoring in double figures in 6 straight games, while also ending the season tied for the leading rebounder on the team with 5.5 rebounds per contest. Kevin Crutch, men's track and field. During the 2021 indoor season for Kevin Crutch, he was diagnosed with not just a small injury for a high jumper. He had an L5 stress fracture in his back. He was out for the 2020 indoor season and 2020 outdoor season. He had to wear a hard back brace for 5 months and was cleared, ready to go for the start of the 2021 seasons. How about winning the Missouri Valley Conference Outdoor Championship in your return? That's exactly what he did, while reaching 10th on the ISU all-time best list in high jump, earning him a spot in the NCAA East Prelim round. Sasha Thompson, soccer. A local Terre Haute product, was excited to start her playing career for the Sycamores in spring of 2021, but it was cut short as she suffered a torn hamstring in the first 15 minutes of a match against league leader Loyola. She would miss the remainder of the season after playing and starting the first 6 matches that spring. Thompson was cleared to return in June of 2021 and returned to the lineup in the fall, starting 12 matches, recording 5 goals, 3 assists, and ranked in the Missouri Valley Conference top 10 for goals and points on the season. She closed the year being all Missouri Valley Conference honorable mention.
And the Sammy goes to Kevin Crutch.
For the second straight season, Indiana State made the NCAA tournament after going 31-21 overall in the baseball diamond and a second place finish in the Missouri Valley Conference with a 14-10 record. The Trees also won a game in the NCAA tournament for the second consecutive year, which was the first time doing that since 1989 and 1995. It only marked the 3rd time in program history where ISU made consecutive NCAA tournaments. Jeremy Guerrero was named the Missouri Valley Conference Pitcher of the Year, while transfer Aaron Back earned Missouri Valley Conference Newcomer of the Year. Indiana State placed a league-high 5 players on the all-conference first team. Jordan Schaefer at shortstop, Max Wright at catcher, Aaron Back in the outfield, Jeremy Guerrero starting pitcher, and Connor Finlong a reliever. Guerrero, following the season, would earn not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 All-American honors.
Please give a round of applause to head coach Mitch Hannes to deliver his 2021 Spring Baseball Awards. Receiving the 2021 Most Improved Award, Aaron Back. The Coaches Award goes to the mayor, Jordan Schaefer. And the MVP from the 2021 spring season for baseball, Jeremy Guerrero. To present our next award, please welcome to the stage the 2017 recipient of the True to Blue Award, Angie Lansing.
It is so much fun to be a supporter of Sycamore Athletics. There are so many dedicated fans like myself cheering for you and watching as you and your team achieve your goals. As the 2017 recipient, I am honored to present the True to Blue Award this evening. This award is given to a non-athlete or coach at Indiana State University associated with athletics who has demonstrated passion for Sycamore athletics. They have devoted hours of their time and energy to support the athletic programs at Indiana State University. With well over a decade of loyal and dedicated service to not only Indiana State athletics, but ISU, it is an honor to welcome to the stage this year's recipient. This year's True to Blue winner is Miss Donna Bell. We're going to break the script. Donna wants to say something.
I'm never at a loss for words. And even though there's some of you athletes that I really don't know personally, I love you all from the bottom of my heart. You make it a joy for me to come to work every day, and I will always root you on. Go Trees. Thank you, dear.
After not competing in the fall of 2021 and spring of 21, Indiana State men's cross country returned in the fall of 2021. The men finished 6th in the Missouri Valley Conference Championships, being led by Cale Light, who paced the way with a time of 25 minutes and 27.7 seconds to finish 21st overall for the meet. In the first meet since 2019, the Sycamore men placed 2nd at the Evansville opener. Cale Killian was the main senior leader for the cross-country squad, and he started the season off with a top 10 finish.
Please welcome cross-country coach Brad Butler to present this year's team awards. Receiving the Most Improved Award for men's cross-country, Wyatt Wyman. Receiving the Coaches Award, Jackson Craig. And the MVP for men's cross country, Cale Killian. Next, to present the Gillum Award, please welcome Brooke Young, Director of Student Athlete Support Services.
From classroom to the field or court, balancing student and athlete can be a big job. The Gillum Award recognizes a graduating student athlete who has attained the highest grade point average while displaying outstanding leadership abilities. This year's Gillum Award winner is Claire Collins.
Like the men, it was the first cross-country competition for the women since 2019. Look no further than Jocelyn Keelis, who spotlighted and carried the distance cross-country ladies for the Sycamores. In preparation for the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, Keelis cemented her name in the Indiana State cross-country record book, placing 8th in the women's 6K at the Bradley Pink Classic with a time of 21 minutes, 10.9 seconds, which was the 4th fastest of the event in program history. It was the best since 2017 when Taylor Austin finished 21 minutes flat. Keelis would earn a spot in the NCAA Great Lakes Regional, where she would continue to climb up the record book, finishing at 21 minutes, 0.4 seconds, nearly tying Taylor Austin for the second fastest time in program history. Both the men and the women's teams were named to the United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association All-Academic Team Award.
Let's welcome back to the stage cross country coach Brad Butler to issue out the Women's Cross Country Awards. Receiving the Most Improved Award for Women's Cross Country, Erica Barker. Receiving the Coaches Award, Maggie Falater. And the MVP, Jocelyn Keelis. To present this year's Bound and Determined Sammy Award, please welcome from men's basketball, Sam Mervis and Julian Larry.
Is this ours? As an athletic organization, you get a reputation that lives off your past accomplishments, or you are held back based on your previous failures.
The teams that have enough courage to gain new respect in the avenue of their specific sport are the most bound and determined.
The Bound and Determined Award is presented to the team that refused to accept that status quo by overcoming challenges to achieve goals that seem unattainable.
The nominees are
Volleyball. After making the Missouri Valley Conference tournament in an expanded field in the spring, Indiana State Volleyball was picked to finish 8th again. Yet this time, if they finished 8th, they would miss out on the Missouri Valley Conference championship. We all know the story now. Indiana State did not finish 8th, earning the number 6 seed in the Missouri Valley Conference championship. Only one time the Sycamores have made the Valley Championship tournament and won a game in the tournament. We can now make it 2 times. Indiana State swept Bradley in dominating fashion in the 3 sets to win only the second Missouri Valley Conference tournament match for a volleyball team that made their first ever postseason appearance in program history with the NIVC, Women's Track and Field Indoor. It was a year filled with many challenges, and heading into the 2022 Indoor Missouri Valley Conference Championships, how could anyone not think the Illinois State women would win it for the 5th consecutive time? Sycamores were picked to finish 3rd. Again, the real ISU prevailed. The ISU women would win the 2022 Indoor Championship crown for the first time since 2015, being paced with 4 individual conference champions, with Ryan Porter earning 2 of those 4 individual titles.
And the Sammy goes to volleyball.
The whole calendar year 2021 was overwhelming success for Indiana State soccer. After a 2nd place finish in the spring, Indiana State finished in the top 3 for the 2nd consecutive season in the Valley. The last time Indiana State finished 2nd in the Valley was 2013, but turned around the next year in 2014 to finish last. This time around, after that 2nd place finish in the spring, It marked the first time ever in program history that Indiana State have posted consecutive seasons, finishing in the top 3 in the Missouri Valley Conference in the fall of 2021. Indiana State went 4-2-2 in league play and hosted a Missouri Valley Conference tournament game yet again at Memorial Stadium. The Sycamores placed 5 on the Missouri Valley All-Conference teams in the fall. C.C. Wahlberg was named to the All-Missouri Valley Conference first team for the second consecutive season. Maddie Alexander and Katie Yankee were named to the All-Missouri Valley Conference second team, while Sasha Thompson and Mackenzie Kent earned honorable mention All-MVC honors. Kent was also named to the All-Missouri Valley Conference freshman team. Chloe Pettigrew earned All-Missouri Valley Conference tournament team honors. Wahlberg and Yankee concluded the season being named to the Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete team.
Please welcome to the stage head coach for Indiana State Soccer, Julie Hanley. Receiving the Most Improved Award for Soccer, Katie Yankee. Receiving the Coaches Award, Jensen Markheim. And the MVP, C.C. Wahlberg. Please welcome to the stage to present this year's Sammy Olsen Hill SAP Award from Women's Track and Field, Mia McKenzie and Deja Springer.
The Olsen Hill SAP Award is named for a pair of Sycamore alums, Christy Olsen Hill, who competed in women's cross country and track and field, and Chris Sapp, who played football.
This award is given annually to a junior or a senior student athlete who embodies the spirit of the Sycamores, which includes strong grade point average, positive attitude, support for other athletics programs and students, campus involvement, and accomplishments in their respective field of play.
This year's Olsen Hill SAP Sammy goes to Melina Tedrow.
The only postseason history for Indiana State volleyball has been the Missouri Valley Conference Championship tournament. That is no longer the case, as Indiana State clinched a berth in the National Invitational Volleyball Championship this past fall. It marked the second consecutive season where Indiana State also earned a spot in the Missouri Valley Conference Volleyball Championship, beating Bradley in the opening round for only the second all-time victory in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. Melina Tedrow was named to the Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete team for the third time in her career, and Madeline Williams was tabbed in the second team All-Missouri Valley Conference, which was her first postseason honor in her 4-year career.
Here to present volleyball's postseason awards, please welcome Senior Associate Athletic Director and Senior Woman Administrator, Angie Lansing. This year's Most Improved Award winner, Kylie Newby. The Coaches Award, Taylor Shelton. And the MVP, Melina Tedrow. To introduce the nominees for the Female Individual Performance of the Year, please welcome from men's cross country, Wyatt Wyman and Cale Killian.
Sycamores, how we doing tonight?
We have all been there. The competition where all the hard work in the off-season, time spent in the weight room, and every rep leading up to that performance finally seems to come full circle.
The Individual Performance of the Year Sammy is presented to a female student athlete that had a dominating performance or made a huge impact that carried her to a win.
And the nominees are
Ryan Porter at the Missouri Valley Conference Outdoor Championships. We are already spotlighted Porter earlier with their efforts in the outdoor season, where she earned All-American honors at the NCAA Championships. The freshman was the second Sycamore in the history to qualify for the national meet in the triple jump. She took 24th in the event with a mark of 12.62 meters, which that was her second jump of that competition at the NCAA Championships. But of course, all that followed her performance and effort at the Missouri Valley Conference Outdoor Championship, where she won the MVC Outdoor Triple Jump title. Storm Surrey versus Austin Peay in volleyball. 19 kills on 32 attempts. Not a bad day on the volleyball court for Storm against Austin Peay, spearheading the Trees to the win. The freshman was the only player to get 19 kills in a match all season for the Sycamores, earning a spot for her 19 kills in the match on the Sycamore Invite All-Tournament team. Mackenzie Kent versus Evansville soccer, earning Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week honors for her efforts in a win against Evansville. Freshman Mackenzie Kent played in 66 minutes of the match while scoring 2 goals in the 4-1 victory over the in-state rival Purple Aces. At this point in the season, Kent led the team with 10 points, and her 4 goals were tied for third most in the Valley. Her 2-goal performance was the first for Sycamore since 2018.
And without further ado, the Sammy for the Female Individual Performance of the Year goes to Ryan Porter.
To present the next Sammy, which is the Male Individual Performance of the Year, please welcome Women's Cross Country's Morgan Dyer and Maggie Falater.
The Male Individual Performance of the Year is awarded to the student athlete who had a dominating performance or who was the difference maker to help his team win.
Here are the nominees for Male Performance of the Year.
Cooper Neese, 35 points in win at Evansville men's basketball. Following a difficult home loss to Evansville, Indiana State had another chance at the Purple Aces on the road just 2 days later. And Cooper Neese made sure the Sycamores didn't head back up Highway 41 without a win. he scored 35 points for Indiana State, knocking down 5 threes and making 12 of his 24 field goals. He played in 49 of the possible 50 minutes in the double overtime game, helping him earn Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week honors. Jordan Schaefer at the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Baseball. There was some tension on the Sycamores and having to win some games to be in a good spot for an NCAA tournament berth for the second consecutive season, and Jordan Schaefer did his part in the 2021 Missouri Valley Conference Baseball Championship. Schaefer nearly hit 600 in the 5 games for Indiana State, going 13 of 22 from the plate with 3 home runs, 5 RBI in the leadoff spot. Schaefer ended the tournament with a career-high 5 hits in the championship game against the eventual winner, Dallas Baptist. The 3 home runs in 5 games for Schaefer in the Valley Tournament. Compare that to his 4 career home runs prior, which consisted of those 4 home runs in 91 games played. J.J. Henderson, 2 interceptions against Youngstown State. Football. In his lone year in a Sycamore uniform, J.J. Henderson put on a show against the Youngstown State Penguins. Henderson recorded 2 interceptions on the day to help spark a fourth-quarter defensive highlight reel for Indiana State. Henderson also finished second on the team in tackles in the game against the Penguins with 6, and was named the Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Player of the Week following Indiana State's 28-17 win at Memorial Stadium against Youngstown State.
And the Sammy goes to Jordan Schaefer.
Sycamore football is starting to build something it hasn't had for a long time. Consistency. Indiana State's 2021 season saw the Trees win 5 or more games for the 3rd consecutive year, which is the first time in program history being able to do that. Playing in its first season since 2019. Indiana State won at Illinois State for the first time since 1997. And most importantly, ended the season with a win for the 3rd straight season. Inoke Moala was a one-man wrecking crew on Indiana State's defensive line, nearly setting an ISU record for sacks in a game in one half, 3.5 sacks against Western Illinois. Moala was a first-team All-Missouri Valley Football Conference selection. Wide receiver Dante Hendricks and defensive back J.J. Henderson and long snapper Wyatt Harwood were all honorable mention Missouri Valley Football Conference. Henderson and freshman linebacker Jeffrey Brown were named to the All-Missouri Valley Football Conference newcomer team.
Here to present football's postseason awards, head coach Kurt Mallory. Receiving the Most Improved Award for football, Lucas Hunter. The Coaches Award, Zach Larkin, and MVP for the fall 2021 season is Inoke Moala. Zach and Inoke have graduated and are unable to join us tonight, but give them a round of applause. Now, welcome back to the stage. Volleyball's Melina Tedrow and Emma Kalin here to present the Sammy for Team of the Year.
Every athlete, regardless of age, gender, or sport, is united by one goal, winning.
It takes hard work, perseverance, and teamwork to meet and exceed expectations, to overcome obstacles and challenges throughout a season.
The Sammy goes to the team who managed to not only meet their goals, but also go above and beyond to have an outstanding season.
Let's take a look at this year's nominees.
Baseball. For the second consecutive season, Indiana State Baseball was back in the NCAA tournament. The Trees finished second in the Missouri Valley Conference while pacing a league best 5 players on the first team All-Missouri Valley Conference squad. Men's and women's indoor track and field. A lot more needs to be said. The Trees swept the Missouri Valley Conference Indoor Championships in 2022, which was the first time Indiana State accomplished this task since 2015. Volleyball, the second straight season making the Missouri Valley Conference Championship Tournament and earned the first ever postseason berth with the NIVC.
The team of the year, Sammy, goes to men's and women's track and field.
It was the first season at the helm for head coach Josh Schertz, who came over from Division II Power Lincoln Memorial. The Trees had the toughest strength of schedule in the Missouri Valley Conference and non-conference in 2021-2022. The Sycamores had 2 earn all Missouri Valley Conference honors at the end of the season. Cooper Neese being placed on the 3rd team All-League, while transfer Cam Henry was named to the all-newcomer team in the Missouri Valley Conference. Neese and transfer Xavier Bletson were also named to the Missouri Valley Conference Most Improved team, while Bletson earned honors to the all-bench team in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Here to present men's basketball's postseason awards, head coach Josh Schertz. Receiving the Most Improved Award, Xavier Bletson. The Coaches Award, Sam Mervis. And the MVP for men's basketball, Cooper Neese. Let's give a warm welcome back to the president of Indiana State University, Dr. Curtis.
The Presidential Scholar Athlete is the most prestigious award presented annually to a male and female student athlete. This honor recognizes athletic accomplishments, academic achievements, qualities of leadership, and service to the university and the community. This award also distinguishes an individual who will use the experiences of intercollegiate athletics participation to make a positive contribution to his or her profession and the community. The nominees for Female Presidential Scholar Athlete are
Lexi Sywek, softball. Rhiannon Wasdy, swimming and dive. Natalia Lalich, women's basketball. Melina Tedrow, volleyball. Mia McKenzie, women's track. Jocelyn Kiewas, women's cross country.
Madison Branham, golf. Jensen Markheim, soccer.
And the Sammy goes to Jocelyn Keelis. And now for the men. The nominees for the Male Presidential Scholar Athlete are
Jose Vasquez, football. Nick Hittle, men's basketball. Kel Killian, men's track. Jackson Craig, men's cross country. Jeremy Guerrero, baseball.
And the Sammy goes to Jeremy Guerrero.
Jack Killinger, known as Coach K within the program, just completed his first season at the helm of Sycamore women's basketball. Major improvement was shown, and it was shown quickly. After winning just 10 total games combined the previous 2 years, Indiana State posted 11 wins in the 2021-22 season, including winning the school's first ever postseason game at Hoops in the Heartland, knocking off in-state rival Evansville in dominating fashion 89-75. Indiana State junior Daljane Williams earned honorable mention All-Missouri Valley Conference honors while being placed to the All-MVC defensive team, while Ariana Smith was named to the Missouri Valley Conference All-Freshman team. Now let's welcome to the stage to present his postseason awards for women's basketball, the head coach, Chad Killinger. The Most Improved Award, Maya Glanton. The Coaches Award, Natalia Lalich. And the MVP for women's basketball, Daljane Williams. We got a legend in the house. Please give a warm welcome to legendary track and field coach Bill Malloy and director of Sycamore Athletics, Sherrard Clinkscales, to present this year's Dwayne Clee Coach of the Year Award.
Dwayne Clee is the all-time winningest basketball and tennis coach in the history of Sycamore Athletics. Prior to his historic coaching career, he was a noted basketball and tennis star, playing for legendary head coach John Wooden. Coach Clee was selected 4 times as the Indiana Collegiate Conference Coach of the Year in basketball and served as president of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics Basketball Coaches. He led ISU to 2 postseason NCAA college basketball tournament appearances. His number 54 is retired. He is a member of the Indiana State Athletics and Missouri Valley Conference Halls of Fame. It is only fitting that the Coach of the Year award be named in his honor. Coach Malloy.
The Dwayne Clee Coach of the Year is awarded annually to the head coach who most exemplifies the qualities Dwayne Clee modeled: leadership, dedication, community-minded, commitment to academics, and athletic success. Let's take a look at this year's nominees.
Mitch Annis, baseball. Leading Indiana State baseball to back-to-back NCAA regionals for only the third time in program history. Coach Annis has been part of two of those three. One as the head coach, the other as a player. Angie Martin, track and field and cross country. The program director for Indiana State track and field and cross country was named the Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year at the 2022 Indoor Championships, where both the men and the women won the Missouri Valley Conference indoor titles. Lindsay Allman, volleyball, led Indiana State volleyball to the school's first ever appearance in postseason play, following winning only the school's second win in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. Julie Hamley, soccer. Indiana State soccer posted consecutive top three finishes in the Missouri Valley Conference for the first time ever in program history. Indiana State won 10 Missouri Valley Conference matches in the calendar year of 2021. That's how many MVC matches Indiana State won from 2013 to 2019.
The Dwayne Clee Coach of the Year Award, Angie Martin.
Indiana State Swim and Dive has been nothing but consistent since the program started in 2016-17. Indiana State finished in the top three for the fourth straight season after finishing seventh the first year, 2016-17. Sycamores have finished fourth or better every season since. ISU put 3 individual podium finishes in the 200-yard backstroke, 200-yard butterfly, and 200-yard breaststroke, while the Sycamores set a new school record in the 400-yard freestyle relay to cap off the final day of the Missouri Valley Conference Championships.
Please welcome head coach Josh Christensen to present the team awards for Indiana State swimming and diving. The Most Improved Award, Rose Parsons. The Coaches Award, Anna Maria Nacio. And the MVP, Emily Webb. Please welcome Bart Caldwell and Kent Stoltz of the Hometown Savings Bank along with Linda McNichols, widow of Coach John McNichols.
John McNichols was the head coach of the Indiana State University track and field and cross-country programs for 34 years, in which he built the Sycamores into a nationally recognized brand.
My husband will forever be remembered as a fierce competitor who achieved success through hard work and dedication to the university, as well as the Terre Haute community. He led the Sycamores to 38 Missouri Valley Conference championships and had many individuals compete at the highest level of their sport at the NCAA championships as well as Olympic Games.
John's vision allowed Indiana State University to begin a tradition of hosting numerous NCAA cross-country championships. It is fitting that Indiana State Athletics' highest athletic award, given annually to the top male and female student athlete, is named in Coach McNichols' honor.
The Sammy goes to two student athletes who most exemplify the standard of excellence that my husband displayed during his championship-filled career at Indiana State. The female nominees are
Ryan Porter, track and field. Porter was an honorable mention All-American at the NCAA championships in the spring. The freshman also won the Missouri Valley Conference championship in the triple jump while scoring in the long jump, 100-meter hurdles in the outdoor 2021 season. The indoor season for Porter in 2022 was the triple jump champion, long jump champion. Porter also finished second in the 60-meter hurdles to earn all-conference honors. CeCe Wahlberg, soccer. A candidate for Player of the Year in the Valley for soccer. Wahlberg was first-team All-Missouri Valley Conference in the spring and fall of 21. Named to the 2021 All-Midwest Region team by the United Soccer Coaches Association. Wahlberg also got it done in the classroom, being part of the Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete First Team. She was team captain for head coach Julie Hanley while playing and starting every match, while also playing 4 different positions during the season. Lauren Green, golf. The 3-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week, Lauren Green has been the clubhouse leader for the Sycamores since she arrived on campus. She recorded 5 top 10 finishes and 4 top 5 finishes. Last spring, she placed 4th in the snowy Missouri Valley Conference Championship, earning Missouri Valley Conference All-League honors, as well as being named an All-Scholar team selection.
The winner of the John McNichols Award for a female student athlete goes to Ryan Porter. Congratulations, Ryan. Now let's check out the male student athlete nominees for the John McNichols Award.
Javon Moore, track and field. What has this man not done? The 5-time Missouri Valley Conference champion has also earned 10 all-conference awards. Last outdoor season, he was all-conference in 3 events. The 100-meter champion, an NCAA preliminary round qualifier, champion in the Missouri Valley Conference 200 meter, and third place in the 4x100 meter relay. The past indoor season, Moore captured the indoor 60 meter crown for the third straight time. Anoke Malala, football. Good luck blocking this man. Malala was named team captain and team leader for Sycamore football in 2021, earning himself first team All-Missouri Valley Football Conference selection. He was also first on the Sycamores with 13 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. He was the Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Player of the Week following the Western Illinois game, where he had 3.5 sacks in the first half, nearly breaking the school record. He started all 11 games for head coach Kurt Mallory in the fall of 2021. Jeremy Guerrero, baseball. When asked to describe Jeremy Guerrero, head coach Mitch Hannis used one word: stud. Guerrero earned 5 different All-American honors following a senior season where he was named the Missouri Valley Conference Pitcher of the Year. He was the first Sycamore pitcher to be named All-American since 1996. In addition, Guerrero was first team All-Missouri Valley Conference. He went 10-1 on the mound in 14 starts, finishing with a 2.08 ERA over 99 in the third innings pitched. He struck out 98 in his 99 innings of work while only walking 14. Oh, and he was also named the Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year.
And the Sammy goes to Jeremy Guerrero.
Here to close out Samys 2022, please welcome to the stage Director of Athletics, Gerard Clinkscales.
So one of the things that I like is that we get in and we get out, so we're just about done. But I just want to again thank Bart and Hometown Savings for all their support of this award. Can we please give another round of applause to them, please? Congratulations to all the honorees tonight. It comes with a lot of hard work and sacrifice. You know, it's always tough when you're trying to get somewhere, but when you get there, you have a sense of satisfaction. But the tough part is staying there. And for those of you that have accomplished the highest, it's going to be tougher to stay there. And for those of you that are still striving, both individuals and teams, keep busting it. You'll get there because it takes a lot to be able to overcome those things, but you're going to get there. We're really close, Sycamores, and I just want to keep it going. Lastly, I just want to say, you know what? It's a privilege and honor to be able to be a student athlete and to get education at a place like Indiana State. As you guys go home tonight, just go home and thank your parents, thank your coaches, and thank people that support you and staff, because this can be taken away very, very easily, as we've seen. So again, have a great night. Congratulations. Let's go kick some more butt.